This video presents the installation of Hebel Powerwall for external walls of detached houses and low-rise multi-residential dwellings. Hebel Powerwall is a solid panel system for stud frame construction. As the modern alternative to brick veneer, Hebel Powerwall is quick and easy to install. The external walls of a small house can be installed in less than 2 days by 2 people. A Hebel panel 2700mm long and 600mm wide has the equivalent area of 81 house bricks and can be installed in just 3 minutes. With a reduced overall wall thickness, Hebel Powerwall provides you with greater internal wall space for the same building dimensions. The primary component of the wall is the Hebel Power Panel, a 75mm thick steel reinforced panel manufactured from Hebel autoclaved aerated concrete. These remarkably strong panels are edge glued and screwed to horizontal top hat battens that are affixed to a timber or steel stud frame. The system provides an excellent base for the application of decorative coatings. To ensure ready availability, these 75mm thick panels can be ordered in stock lengths of 2400mm, 2700mm and 3000mm, in widths of 300mm and 600mm. The 600mm wide panels are available in the additional lengths of 1200mm, 2550mm and 2850mm. Hebel mortar is used in some Hebel Powerwall arrangements to provide a level base for panel installation. Hebel mortar is supplied in 20kg bags. Hebel adhesive is a cementitious adhesive for bonding the common edges of panels and to fill any cracks between panels after installation. Hebel adhesive is supplied in 20kg bags. Use Hebel patch to repair any minor chips or damage to panels. Hebel patch is supplied in 10kg bags. Appropriate design of the stud framing to suit a 300mm module will virtually eliminate wastage, which keeps the site cleaner and safer. Check the quantities of power panels and associated accessories supplied by CSR Hebel are on site and correct. Prior to installation of Hebel Powerwall, wall wrap can be installed if required. Hebel power panels are surprisingly light for a solid wall. The maximum weight of a 2700mm panel is approximately 83 kilograms, which allows 2 men to carry the panels to where they're to be installed. But good work practice suggests having bundles located as close to the work area as practical. Lifting and manoeuvring the panels is aided by the use of purpose-built lifting handles. These handles should be located at mid-height and face outwards in alternate directions. This will help stabilise the panel. Hebel panels can be cut with a circular saw fitted with a diamond tip cutting blade and a vacuum attachment, while ensuring a P1 or P2 class breathing apparatus, eye and hearing protection are worn. Reinforcement exposed during the cutting process should be coated with a liberal application of Fentac anti-corrosive agent, available from CSR Hebel or your local Hebel distributor. Mix the Hebel adhesive in the bucket provided by adding water and mixing with a stirring attachment. Hebel adhesive should be prepared by mixing only half a bag at one time. Approximately 3 litres of water will be required to allow the mix to achieve a good consistency. To begin the installation process, the top hat sections are screwed to the frame of the house. You'll need to fix one top hat section horizontally in the following locations: 250mm up from the bottom of the panel, 150mm down from the top of the panel, and at a maximum of 1200mm spacings in between, depending on local wind categories. You may find it easier to trim the top hats after they're screwed to the wall around the corners and other openings. The small offcuts are still useful for some of the narrow sections, so there's no need to waste them. It's a good idea to straighten the frame or adjust by packing the studs prior to installing the top hats. The gap between the panels and the frame measures 20 to 25mm, and allows plumbing to be externally face-fixed to the studs if required. As this walling system is not classified as cavity construction, this installation technique is acceptable. Electrical services can easily be woven between the studs, noggins and top hat sections. Before commencing the installation of the panels, it's important to install a damp-proof course, or DPC. This continuous membrane should be nailed or fixed to the bottom plate of the frame and completely cover the concrete step-down, overlapping at corners. The first and most important panel to be installed is the corner panel. The set-out of this panel will affect the alignment of all the other panels along the wall and the quality of the finished corner. As Hebel Powerwall relies on a modular system, the set-out of this panel is critical. First, check the horizontal alignment, as this panel should extend 75 mm past the face of the top hats on the return wall. Then check that the panel is vertical with a level and screw to the top hats. It's important to install the 3 screws on the corner side of the panel from the outside of the building as shown here. The remaining 3 screws can be installed from inside the building. The screws should be installed at a distance of approximately 100 mm from the edge of the panel to avoid hitting the reinforcement in the panel. Before the next panel is lifted into position, Hebel adhesive should be applied to the vertical edge of the panel just installed. A 75 mm wide notched trowel available from CSR Hebel or your local Hebel distributor should be used to give an even distribution of glue up the joint. The next panel is now ready to install. Lift the panel onto the rebate approximately 10 mm away from the first panel. Insert a 12 mm bolt under the panel so the bottom corner of the new panel can roll up to and touch the side of the first panel. After the bolt is removed, the new panel is rotated firmly against the first panel. Then, while one person holds this panel in place, it can be screw-fixed from inside by another person. Similarly, the remaining full-height panels can be installed around the dwelling. The cut panels below the windows can be installed in sequence or after the full-height panels have been installed. For suspended floors, an angle bracket is affixed to the base to align and support the panels, particularly during installation. The location of the angle bracket is determined by the length of the panel measured down from the eaves. Angle brackets can also be fixed to piers so as to attach horizontal skirting panels if an enclosed subfloor is required. A waterproofing compound must be applied to panels where they are in direct contact with the ground. In most cases, 2 screws will be required to fix each panel to each top hat section, or 3 screws per panel for each top hat in fire-rated walls. Remember that all the panels below the window openings will require cutting to the correct length and with a sloping end to form the sill. It's vital that the windows be ordered to suit a 300 mm module to avoid unnecessary length cutting of these panels. The sills should have a slope of at least 15 degrees to ensure good runoff of rainwater. Care should be taken during cutting to keep the face straight and smooth. Panels under the window sills are then installed, carefully ensuring that the rubber weather strip sits on top of the panel. Additional long cuts of the 600 mm wide panels may be required to suit the geometry of the building. However, the thoughtful modular design of the building can minimise, if not eliminate, this requirement. The windows can be installed either before or after the Hebel power panels have been installed. In either case, a snug fit of the frame to the edge of the panel is important. It's surprising to see how quickly the panels are installed. In just a couple of days, the outside of the building is now ready for coating. A number of options are available when choosing a coating for Hebel Powerwall, with a wide choice of pre-tinted acrylic texture finishes available. As an ideal render base, Hebel's Skim Coat Render is a fast-to-apply preparation for Hebel Powerwall. It levels slight irregularities and produces a high-quality, even, true surface. Traditionally applied from 1 to 4 millimetres in a single application, due to the unique blend of polymer, aggregate and fibre reinforcing, it is the ideal preparation product prior to the application of a full acrylic texture coating system available from most coating suppliers. The finished appearance is highly dependent on the standard of wall construction workmanship. Check the entire wall perimeter using a straight edge and chalk mark any deviations and damage. Control joints should be located at most corners and at less than 6 metre centres. This 5 to 10 millimetre gap between the panels should be filled with a backing rod and sealed with a polyurethane sealant prior to the application of the coating. Adhere a straight line of mastic tape over all control joints and remove immediately after the render is applied. All openings should be masked carefully and all surfaces cleaned of loose material. Fill any chipped or damaged panels and screw holes with Hebel patch and sand flat when dry. Hebel skim coat render is generally applied using the traditional hawk and trowel method. Always apply the acrylic coating system in line with the manufacturer's recommendations. Further information on the design and construction techniques associated with Hebel Powerwall is available from CSR Hebel or your local distributor. Visit www.hebelaustralia.com.au under Literature for Hebel Powerwall and Hebel Render design guides and brochures.